Each of us needs to do better. We need to see less people.
Cancel your holiday plans. That's the message from state health leaders.
It has to be a decision you make that your life is worth it, that your friend's life is worth it, that your family's life is worth it.
3 weeks to the day until Thanksgiving.
This is the situation and we need to deal with it.
Coloradans are now changing gears.
I don't know if we do FaceTime or some video calls to share dinners with our friends and families.
Plus, Colorado University sending students home, telling them work remotely for the rest of the semester.
I actually got here 49 hours early. Got here yesterday morning.
And as ski areas gear up to open, Coloradans are already eagerly waiting in line. What you need to know if you plan to hit the slopes this season.
Plan ahead. Be kind to others.
More than 48 hours after the first polls closed, still no projected winner in the race for the White House. A handful of key battleground states still up for grabs, and they will decide the outcome of this election.
And some of you I know have been watching our ABC News coverage leading into this broadcast. But for those of you just joining us, let's get caught up right now. Right now, Joe Biden has 253 electoral votes. Trump 214, 270, of course, the number to win the White House. And you might be seeing 264 electoral votes for Biden. Some news outlets are calling Arizona for Biden. ABC News has not yet done that.
And now to those states that are still too close to call. We are closely watching the race in Pennsylvania. Biden is closing in. The race getting tighter as more numbers come in. The two are separated by just under 24,000 votes, but right now you can see Donald Trump leading 50% to Biden's 49%. A win here for Biden means he would take the White House.
All right, on to Georgia now, where Trump's lead is shrinking down south. It's now almost a tie. There are fewer than 2,000 votes right now separating these two. So percentage-wise, the two men are tied. Several counties in Georgia have stopped counting for the night. All right, out west to Arizona, the two are separated there by about 46,000 votes. Joe Biden still hanging on to a narrow lead in Arizona.
Now to Nevada. And we won't see any new numbers released until tomorrow. Again, this one oh so close, and Joe Biden currently with the lead at 49% to Donald Trump's 48%. And here's where we stand in North Carolina. Again, this one oh so close with Donald Trump leading 50% to Joe Biden's 49%. We won't know any more really out of North Carolina until next week.
ABC News has learned the president spent the day working the phones, asking questions about his legal options. We are told he is laser focused on the crucial states of Pennsylvania and Arizona.
And today the president speaking from the White House pushing false claims of widespread voter fraud without providing any evidence. We have not seen any evidence of voter fraud.
More than a dozen former U.S. attorneys general, all of whom served under Republican presidents, condemned Trump's remarks, calling them baseless and reckless.
Today, a federal judge denied the Trump campaign's attempt to stop the vote count in Philadelphia. The same happened in Georgia and Michigan.
All right. Gray wolves will be reintroduced into Colorado. The opposition to Prop 114 has conceded today. So Colorado Parks and Wildlife say they will now start the planning process.
Colorado's top health officials are warning tonight that COVID-19 is circulating in Colorado now more than ever, and we need to get this under control and now. 1 in 100 people in Denver are contagious. There is no sign of slowing or any plateau.
And it's not just younger Coloradans. The state epidemiologist warns we have seen an increase in cases of people over 40, which also has translated into more hospitalizations in that age group. We added 3,300 cases of the virus to our state today, the highest single day count we have seen. Our statewide total surpassed 121,000, and more than 2,100 Coloradans have died from the coronavirus.
And hospitalizations now have surpassed the peak that we saw in April. There are 894 people in the hospital with a confirmed case of coronavirus. Our peak hospitalization number in April was 888, and that was just the number of confirmed cases among those hospitalized. Another 122 with suspected cases are in the hospital tonight.
Our attention might have been distracted by the election or dealing with the horrific fires. Now it's time to refocus on what we know we need to do to reduce this pandemic toll here in Colorado and to get our economy going.
The governor reminds us Colorado was one of the first states to get numbers under control. He also says that November cannot be like October.
All right, so here's the guidance. Interact with only members of your household. No gatherings, keep your distance, wear a mask, and treat everyone as though they are contagious. The governor says he isn't at the point to implement another stay-at-home order, but they are looking at other mitigation steps.
You know, there's no action your county or state can take for you not to go socialize. It has to be a decision you make, not to socialize. A decision you make that your life is worth it, that your friend's life is worth it, that your family's life is worth it.
And we just learned the trial for the man accused of killing his 13-year-old son back in 2012 has been put on hold. The judge presiding over the Mark Redwine case has mild COVID symptoms. Opening statements were set to begin on Monday, and if the judge's test results come back negative in the next few days, then jury selection will continue on Monday.
And Thanksgiving is 3 weeks from today. Governor Polis says he knows it's going to be difficult, but he is asking all of us to adjust or maybe even cancel our plans.
And Denver7's Gary Brode has more on how Coloradans feel about the guidance.
There's going to be a lot less plates at the dinner table this Thanksgiving.
We planned before, but now we canceled the plans.
MUTHANA ALYASIRI and his family were going to break bread with friends and family for the holiday, but as the number of COVID cases exploded, they realized a face-to-face dinner just wasn't on the menu.
I don't know if we do FaceTime or some video calls to share dinners with our friends and families.
On Thursday, Governor Jared Polis told Coloradans the idea of traditionally large Thanksgiving gatherings should be thrown out, like the untouched cranberries.
I think many families like ours should plan to have Thanksgiving with those who live in their household, and maybe, you know, incorporate grandparents, aunts, uncles, friends in over virtual or Zoom, or simply plan to have a Thanksgiving in February or March when people are safely inoculated.
For me personally, I love Thanksgiving so much. I would just figure out a way to do it in a safe way. With a smaller gathering.
Laura ZASPEL owns Serendipity Catering, which has seen a 65% increase in orders, not revenue, this Thanksgiving.
There's more volume of order, but each order is smaller.
ZASPEL says 2019's average Turkey Day order was for 40 people.
This year it's between 4 and 12. Tells us that people are following along, keeping things more intimate, keeping gatherings to a lower number, honoring the concept of public health and safety.
Half of those small orders are ditching the turkey and going vegan. In years past, the vegan option only accounted for 5% of orders.
People see that connection. They see the connection of eating more plant-based, being vegan, with immune system strength, health.
On the plus side, this year, we can start off the meal in our sweatpants. Gary Brode, Denver7.
And we know times are tough right now, so if you're still wondering where your next meal will come from, the city of Denver is looking out for you. Tomorrow, there will be a food distribution at the Lalo Delgado campus in Denver. You can grab a food box, baby diapers, formula. You can even get a free flu shot. The event runs from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
And because of the increased numbers of COVID, CU Boulder and DU both announced today they're going back to remote learning. DU will make the transition Monday, CU next Friday. Both will start remote learning November 16th and then stay that way for the remainder of the semester. And both schools are encouraging students to go back home. For younger students, Cherry Creek Schools announced today they too will go remote as a result of this situation. And Denver Public Schools is asking families, if you have unused Wi-Fi hotspots, one that you maybe used in the spring, please return it if you're not using it. The school right now needs them to redistribute them to the families who really need them now.
And as numbers go up, testing sites are being taxed, and people are showing up to get tested only to be turned away. This is what the Jeffco Stadium looked like this morning, just after 10 a.m. I know it's a little deceiving here, but the site actually reached capacity just after it opened. We're told the stadium has enough tests, but the high demand is an issue for staffing. So starting tomorrow, additional staffing will be added to this location.
As ski areas in the high country gear up to open, COVID cases in Summit County are also skyrocketing.
And the county's now implementing a curfew starting tomorrow night. People must be off the streets by 10 p.m. And the county's also moving into a safer at home level 3, the red zone.
Well, despite that, Keystone's still opening tomorrow. Denver7's Russell Haythorne on both the anxiety and the excitement.
I'm first in line for tomorrow's opening.
For Tom Miller, it's his 27th year being first in line.
So all night, I actually got here 49 hours early. Got here yesterday morning. The concrete right by the gondola is heated.
Excitement as ski season kicks off at Keystone.
This is the villain outfit. Last year I was the hero outfit.
This season is going to look a lot different. But the good news is we're going to have skiing and riding.
Keystone will be requiring face masks in all lift lines and ticket lines, and you will only be riding the gondola with members of your own party. You must also have a reservation here and at all Vail resorts.
If you wake up in the morning and you check that snow report, just add an extra step to it. Go to epicpass.com and make your reservation there, and then hit the mountain.
Pass holders can also make reservations in advance if vacationing or visiting for multiple days in a row.
You can also lock in 7 priority reservation days.
9, 10. There you go, kiddo. Have a good day, and come see us again.
Businesses like the Village Grocery and Liquor Store are anxious about rising COVID numbers while cautiously optimistic about the promise of a new season.
Of course, feeling, that it's going to be a good season. It might not be as much as some years, but we're hoping for a good season.
Time will tell how well the reservation system works. Meantime, Keystone will launch with its longest run, fully operational for the first time ever on opening day.
Plan ahead, be kind to others, and do what you can to keep each other safe.
I can't wait for this top to bottom run tomorrow.
Russell Haythorne, Denver7.
I feel like I made a very big mistake for trusting him.
Yeah, sometimes he wouldn't even call, he wouldn't show up.
Person after person, each with the same story.
This wall over here was crooked.
This one is not.
Shoddy work, unfinished basement projects, and homeowners out tens of thousands of dollars.
We saved up for about 8 years to do this project.
Tonight, more victims come forward to contact Denver7 about the same contractor and the same frustrations.
In my opinion, there's a lot of damage done.
Near record highs again today, but there is snow coming up in the extended forecast.